Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create my Symmetry bracelet. This is a reversible design, so you can wear it on either side. Technically, this is like the signature side of it, but it's up to you. Now, I don't have a lot of time, so I will only be showing you a small piece today, but the instructions are the same regardless of the number of looms you use, and I'll explain that in the video as I always do. But for the breakdown for today's piece, it is only 92 bands, and the breakdown is 34 of the side gray, 12 of the middle gray, 11 of the yellow, 24 of the turquoise, and 11 of the white, which you mostly see kind of peeking through there, but it's mostly on the back. So I will have the breakdown down below if you're doing a full-length bracelet without an extension, so look down below for that if you need it. Other than that, you will need one C-clip and your hook, and I will explain the loom setup. To get started, you're going to need to have 5 bars wide at least. If you want a full-length bracelet without any kind of extension, you'll need 2 sets of 5. So this one here, and then you'll set another one up in front of it. At the end of the video, I am not going to show you how to make an extension, but you will need one. The bracelet's not going to be big enough if you only use one set. So I'll link a video down below showing you how to do an extension if you don't already know how to do that. So for today, I'm doing this color combination, and we're going to start with the border, which is my gray. We're going to take one for closing it later, and we're just going to sit it in the middle. And then we'll go to the left 2 times, and to the right 2 times. We're going to grab another gray, and from the middle pin, we're just going to go straight. Keep that gray close by and choose what you want to use where my yellow is. From the top of the gray on the middle, we're going to go to the left and to the right. So lay in a horizontal like that. And like that. We're going to go back to laying a straight one up the middle. And then our 2 horizontal yellow. Go back to your straight, and then the 2 horizontal yellow. We're going to alternate these 2 steps down the loom. Whether you are using 1 set of 5 or 2 sets of 5, we are both going to be going all the way down to the end of the loom. After you've laid your last straight one that connects to the last bar at the end of the loom, you will not lay another yellow. In other words, the very last row here gets no yellow. Your last band should end with the gray going straight. So as I said, instructions are exactly the same for either loom setup. Okay, so I've just laid my last gray band going forward. You can see I'm at the end of the loom. So our looms should look identical regardless of how many loom setups you used. So I'm going to go through and push these down a little bit, and you should do the same, and I'll tell you what we're going to do next. The next part's really easy. We're just going to finish laying the border that's on the sides, which is my gray. It's whatever color you started with up here. And we are just going to go down both sides, going straight like this. And you will, of course, take this all the way down until you reach the very last pin. Once you do get there, then we'll bring it in to the center to close it off. So I've reached the end, and now I'm going to bring it in and meet up with the center gray like this. So we're going to go ahead and do that exact same thing on the left side, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So it looks like this after both of your borders are complete. I did push mine down a little, and now we are going to lay the bands that are turquoise on this bracelet. So I'm going to actually use teal because I don't have enough turquoise to match that. But we're just going to be laying horizontal bands on the sides of the loom. We are going to start at the very top of the loom, right on top of the border. So from the corner to the second pin in, I'm just going to lay it horizontally. And while we're here, we're just going to go ahead and get the left side done as well. We're going to come down to the row underneath of it and do the same thing. Like so. And we're just going to lay these horizontal bands on all of the rows except the very last row at the end. So you will not lay it on top of your border band when you get down to the end of the loom. You can keep laying both sides like I started to. I'm just going to do this side really quickly. So that's what it will look like. Do not lay it on that pin there. If you didn't do it at the same time, go ahead and get those laid on the left side, and I'll be right back. So it will look like this after they are all completed. So we are now going to lay some diagonal bands, and that's going to be the bands that are white on this one. You kind of see them in the little holes, but remember they are on the back side. So we're going to come on the second bar pin in and come down to the second pin because we're not going to lay it on the first row. And we're going to lay a diagonal band like so. Come up to the next one and lay it the same way. And you will do this all the way down the loom until you cannot go any further. It would look like that once you've reached the end of the loom. And then you guys are going to do the exact same thing on the left side. Remember, we're not going to lay anything on the first one. Come down to the second one and lay it like so. And then you're going to do that all the way down to match the right side. So go ahead and get yours completed. And it would look like that once you are done. So of course, hit the pause button until everyone is caught up. And then we're going to turn our loom around. We're going to grab one more border color, and we're going to place a cat band on the very center pin in the front here. Just a normal cat band, like so. And now we are officially ready to start the looping. So to get started, we have to do a step that is a little bit different. We're going to be grabbing the top part of the teal. This is the part of the band we'll be grabbing, but we have to do it from inside the white diagonal band. So you're going to go inside the white and just go straight down into the teal at the same time. Grab the top part of the teal. You're going to pull it under the white band towards yourself and then get next to the pin and roll it to the right because we need to twist that teal band onto the pin like that. Come up to the next one and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go into the white. I usually go into that little hole right next to it right here. So that way I can just go right down into the white and the teal. You're going to grab the top part of the teal band, pull it towards yourself, come next to the pin and roll your wrist to the right so that we twist that band on. We need to do that to each and every one of them. So just take your time, pull it, and twist. I will show you how to do it on the right side because you have to twist the opposite direction. But for now, just take your time and go all the way up. There is one at the top of the loom that you have to do as well. Don't forget that one. Make sure you are grabbing the top of the band and not accidentally grabbing this bottom one. You have to go all the way in and grab the top. The top one, there's not a white band, excuse me, to go inside of. So you're simply just going to grab it and then pull it down and twist it on, like so. And then on the right side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into this white band right here. Go inside the opening and grab the top of the teal. Bring it down next to the pin, and this time you're going to roll your wrist to the left. I do find it's easier if you tilt your loom a little bit. Go in that little opening, grab the top of the teal, pull it down, and turn. So it looks like that. So go ahead and get your right side twisted on, and I'll be right back. So this is what it will look like after both sides are completed. Don't forget to twist your last one on the top right. We're going to come back to the beginning, and now we are going to loop the white diagonal bands. So we're going to do the right side first. We're going to come up to the second pin right here. There's one band that we have to go inside of, and it's this teal one right here. You're going to grab your white diagonal, and we're not going to bring it back to itself. We're going to actually bring it diagonally up to the right. So this is the pin we're on. You're not going to come right next to it. You're going to go up one. So this is where it was, and you're going diagonally up to the right. This is where we looped it. Come over to the left, which is our next diagonal. We're going to go into that pin. There's one band you're moving. You're going to grab the second one, which is your diagonal band, and you're going to bring it, stretch it up to the right. I know it can start to look like a lot's going on once we start looping the white. So this is where we looped it. Come over to the left. Grab your second band down, and you're going to go up to the right. We're going to keep doing that all the way up. You just want to be careful as you take the band off of the pin because you don't want to accidentally pop the teal off. This is the last one that we have to do, and this one will connect to the top corner. Like that. So we're going to come to the left side, and I'm going to get you started. So we're going to come to the second pin up on the left side of the loom. Go into the top teal and grab your second band. And just like we did on the opposite side, we are going to loop this diagonally up, but this time towards the left. That's where we looped it. Come over next to it. Grab your next diagonal band and loop it diagonally up. See how I almost popped that off? You don't want that to happen, so just take your time and slowly take it off of the pin and loop it up. Like that. So go ahead and get your left side looped up, and I'll be right back. Hit the pause button until you're caught up, and after your left side is done, it will all look like this. We're going to come back to the beginning. We're going to come into the cap band right here. The top one in there should go to the right. And then we're going to go in again, grab the bottom band, and bring that to the right. Come back to the cap band and loop the left side. This is just the start of the border. We're going to leave that for now, and we're going to now loop the yellows. We have to actually loop the yellows twice. So for this first time, we're going to be coming in from the center and looping them back to themselves. So we'll come up to this first set that has the yellow on it. I'm going to grab my first one, and that will go to the left, back to itself. And then the second one will go to the right. You can see these two got a little out of order, but just go ahead and grab it and bring it to the right. Come up to the next one and do the same thing. My top one will go to the left. And this one goes to the right. we're just going to loop these out all the way up for this part. I've had a very busy week this week, and I just feel like there's not enough time in the days this week. I really didn't even think I would have time to get anything filmed. I've also been making crochet gifts for people at my husband's work, so that's had me really busy. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get a video out. And then I remembered I had this little guy sitting around for literally years, and I had so many renditions of it already made, so I was like, oh, that's perfect. Because I usually start getting my designs ready a week before. I make a ton of renditions, I write down all the information, and I already had this one ready to go, so it was perfect. So that's what it will look like at the top of the loom. And now we are going to come back to the beginning, and we are going to start alternating between looping the gray forward, and then we're going to work with the yellows again. So come into where the cap band is and grab the band that's in there and loop it forward. And now we need to be grabbing the bottom band on each pin, which is the bottom part of the yellow. So on the left side, it's this one here, and the right one is this one here. So we'll go into this pin here. It can be a little tricky. The teal band can sometimes get in the way. So you really have to make sure you're getting in front of that teal, like so. Grab the bottom yellow. Oops, sorry, it blurred out. And you're going to bring it to the middle like that. Do the same thing on the right side. There's 3 bands you're pushing out of the way, grabbing the very bottom yellow and bringing it to the middle. We'll go back to the center and loop the gray forward. And now we're going to loop the yellows again. So push back the top 3 bands, grab the very bottom yellow and loop it in. If you didn't use yellow, it's the very bottom band on that pin anyway. After you loop them both in the center, loop your gray forward. And again, we will loop the bottom band on these pins to the middle. Grab the bottom from the center and loop it up. And we'll do the yellows again. So just keep alternating those 2 steps. So far, my yellows have not really given me a hard time, but sometimes if the bands are like too smushed together, it can be a pain trying to grab this bottom band. So hopefully it's not too difficult for you guys. But yeah, what I was saying is it's just been a really crazy busy week. And then we're having a Christmas party on Friday with my whole family. We do like a dinner, we exchange gifts. And yeah, I just don't have a lot of time this week. But I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't have to cook, so that's always fun. After you looped your last yellow into the middle, do not forget to loop the last gray one forward or else your bracelet will fall apart. So that's what it looks like right now. And we are going to come back to the beginning. And the last thing we have to do is loop the side borders out, which is super easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the right side with you guys. You're just going to grab the very bottom band and loop it up. Then we'll go into that pin, grab the very bottom, and loop that up. And you're just grabbing the very bottom band on each one of these pins and going all the way up. So it's easier for me to actually work like this. But go ahead and get that looped all the way up. Once you reach the top corner, grab the bottom band and bring it in towards the left. And do that one more time. Like so. You're going to do the same exact process on the right side. Just grabbing the very bottom band and looping it up. Like so. When you are done and you're at the top, you're going to locate the loose band, reach down in the middle and grab the other end of it and bring both ends together. If you're not attaching an extension on or doing an extension, you can go ahead and put your C-clip on. If you are doing an extension, you can temporarily put the C-clip on or you can put your hook through it. And I will attach a video down below if you don't know how to make an extension on your own. But I do recommend using your hook to release the very outer rows and then you can pull the rest off. So when you do have it off of the loom, sometimes if you just pull it off, these can get a little bit messy. So I usually play with it for a second. I pull it left to right, up and down, and then I just kind of play in here a little bit with my finger in case any of them, like this one, is not laying correctly. Push that white in. But that's it right there. And then of course you guys would know how to close it off and bring both ends together. But that is how you complete my symmetry bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hit the like button down below if you did. And you can also share your rendition with me on Instagram. I'm Loves to Loom on there. I will see you very soon at my next tutorial. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.